This is a shoulder and core class, but it's also a breathing class. So I think it's a really nice way to weave together how we focus on a 360-degree breath when we're exercising and really kind of in life in general, and how we can work with it in shoulder work and how it can really be helpful. So the things that you'll need is a blanket of some sort, or a towel, that'll work too, and a strap. It doesn't have to be a belt or a sash or a tie, a firm strap. You actually could use a stretchy band as well. So the first thing that we're going to do before we do anything is we're just going to breathe in a deep, exaggerated way. So not so deep that you're going to get lightheaded, because we are going to notice a number of things, so there'll be a number of breaths, so don't go crazy. And find yourself a seat. Doesn't have to be down on the ground right away. Eventually we are coming to the ground, but if you're not a hands and knees person, this can all still be done using a low stool, maybe against a wall, actually a bench, a coffee table, anything that's firm and isn't going anywhere. And truth be told, you could probably do this at a countertop as well. Okay, let's get started. So we're going to do a deep, exaggerated breath. Now, you can do nose, mouth, mouth, nose, nose, I don't really care. And now start noticing what happens to your shoulders when you do that. And now I'm just going to be aware of my ribs. So this is me not trying to be a good breather. Just noticing where most of the movement is. Now I'm going to check into what happens in my neck when I do this exaggerated inhale. Does it do that? What happens in my forehead and jaw? So those are just lots of spots to notice. Let's come back to some normal breathing and just think about, where did we move a lot? One of the things that's pretty typical is that we have a lot of up and down movement when we are doing deep, exaggerated inhales. It's just kind of a natural thing to have happen. I know you saw that on me. I wasn't trying to make that happen. That's just what naturally happens if I'm not trying to be thoughtful about the depth and width of what I'm doing. And for some people, though, there's very little movement at all, and it's super hard to even get a deep breath. And if that's you, don't worry, because we're just going to take a journey through some movements, and maybe it'll feel easier when we get done. So, patience, my friends. So let's just go back to thinking about how the lungs are actually sort of teardrop shaped. They're bigger at the bottom. And so if we put our hands at the bottom of our rib cage, we're really close to the bottom of the teardrop, and we can try to inhale and get it all the way down to the teardrop. So I think of the air going in and traveling down, 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 and then I exhale it out. And I'm not trying to forcefully do anything with my exhale. And I notice my ribs sort of settle back into my body. And now I'm going to try even harder to go sideways, not only deep, but sideways. And then to the back. Now that's a lot harder for me, so that's where we're going to pull in our strap breathing. Always makes it easier. So I'm going to take the strap, do what we always do, cross it, and hold it. And this always, now remember, shoulders and head stacked over pelvis. We don't have a tucked tail. This is best done without a tucked tail. And we're just going to try to breathe into the sides of the strap. So I push the strap wider, and then it allows me to pull the strap just a little bit tighter without cinching myself. So, and great. Now let's think about the back. This is where it's always most difficult. I'm actually going to scoot myself closer to the wall, and I'm not only going to have the strap, I'm going to have my back against the wall. So I need to get this not quite all the way back there, get this just a little higher. I had it maybe a little low. And I'm going to try to get some feeling of expanding into the wall or into the strap. It doesn't matter that the wall kind of gets in your way because the expansion's not that much anyway. I went wide, but I could also feel my back pressing into the wall. That's a really good feeling. We're going to play with that a little bit further. I'm going to get a little more strap for myself. And we're just going to pull the strap out as we breathe. So inhale, my arms go out. Exhale, I reset and bring them back in. I need a little more strap. So I'm going to really multitask here, pressing the strap into the wall and extending my arms, inhaling into the strap, all at the same time. And I come back to grab the strap here again. So yeah, so it becomes, can I keep my ribs from lifting? I don't want to lift like a bell away from the wall. I have to keep the strap pressed into the wall. Great. So we're going to move our arms just a little bit more. I keep resetting. So obviously, every time I come off the wall, it slips. So we're going to go with an inhale out. And now with an exhale, close. Obviously, the strap is looser. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Can you keep the strap on the wall? Can you change the breathing? Maybe inhale, open, exhale, close, or inhale to prepare, exhale, open, inhale, close. Is your back staying on the wall? Are you keeping that strap on the wall? I just had a moment where it slipped. And look what happened. Yeah, I let my ribs lift a little bit and I lost the strap. So it's a great way to know if you're being honest with yourself. So I'm going to inhale, open, and exhale, close. Inhale, open, and exhale, close. Inhale, open, really hard to keep the strap down. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Okay, now we're going to take this onto our hands and knees. So if you're not a hands and knees person, no big deal. You can still work with this idea with your hands on a bench. So we're coming here. And as I said, if you don't want your knees on the ground, you can still do this same exact thing. And actually, I think a table is better than a bench because we're going to slide our arms out. So we'll want more room, a countertop or a table. Okay, so I'm going to, actually I don't need to cross it. I'm just going to make it easy for the straps not to get in my way. I'm going to come down onto my hands and knees, and the first thing I'm going to do is just have some tension here on the strap and feel that exact same thing that we did in this position. So inhale, feel pressure into the strap. Exhale, feel it lessen. So this is a great way to know that you're not doing cat-cow. You're not changing your spine. You're pressing your hands into the ground. Your shoulder blades are wrapping around the side. Every inhale, you're inflating into the strap, and exhale, it moves away. We are going to make this just a little bit more difficult because we're going to try to keep the pressure into the strap while we inhale and exhale. So this is definitely harder, but we're going to give it a shot. So here we are. Inhale into the strap. You're going to hold and slide your arm out and slide your arm back. So of course, when I slid back, I lost some of the tension in the strap, but that's okay because we can keep redoing. So I'm going to inhale out and exhale, come back, retighten up my strap. The most important part, and the reason why I'm not that worried about the lack of tension, is I inhale out and let my arm slide along the strap, still keeping tension. So when I come back, I do lose the tension, but not because I lost the expansion in my lungs. So I know I tell you not to hold your breath. This is one of those few exercises where you are doing a hold. So we inhale into the strap, we hold, and then we exhale back. So we inhale into the strap, hold that inhalation, hold that expansion, and then we come back. We're always making this tight again. Inhale into the strap, holding it, and come back. Beautiful. So you're getting pretty good at that kind of stability, which is an awesome thing. So we are going to imagine that we still have the strap. I think you've gotten that tactile feeling and that we don't necessarily have to have the strap. So what we're going to do is inhale, expand into the back. Exhale back. Keep that expansion. Don't collapse. Okay, so we're going to do it again. Inhale and exhale and come back, all the while keeping that expansion. So inhale, inflate the back of your ribs. Keep your ribs in your body. Coming back and coming forward again. Let's put our hands a little further out. Inhale into that strap that's theoretically on your back. Keep that expansion and move your bottom back a little bit, still in a neutral spine, and come on back. Maybe you go forward. Don't collapse. Moving back and forth, keeping that expansion in your back. Inhale, expansion in the back. Keep that expansion and come on back. One more time. Inhale, inflate into the back. Beautiful. Shake out your wrists a little bit. Okay. We're going to do one more thing. We're going to take our blanket. So what I'd like you to do is create a little blanket for your spine. So it's going to be narrow. This will obviously be too long for me, but I'm going to double it up a little bit right near my head, so it's going to be lovely. And I'm actually going to go this way so that you can see more precisely what I'm doing, I hope. I hope this makes sense. So I'm going to fold it just a little bit. If you have a longer torso than I do, which is probably a lot of you, you can just get a pillow for your head. Okay, let's come on down and have this cushioning be right at our spine. And I'm going to suggest that it not be under your bum. So mine is under my bum, and I'm going to grab this a little more. Give myself maybe a teeny bit more padding and come back down. So what I want is just the tiniest of back bends. The fact that my bum is off the blanket means I've got a little bit higher rib cage than pelvis, just a little bit. And I can bring my legs down here, or I can have my legs here. I think it's really nice to have them here. Not super close to your bum, just kind of out here and supportive. But noticing that you're in a back bend, let's get our arms out to the side, which is a really nice stretch for the front of our shoulders. Inhale and exhale. Notice how much the rib cage wants to lift. Well, now we're going to take this opportunity to try to breathe that spatial movement into the blanket. Oh yeah, this is more challenging. Keep the palms up. Much more challenging. So we're not going to lift the ribs. They want to swing up like a bell, and we're not going to let that happen. They are already just a teeny bit lifted because of the way the blanket is. But now you're purposefully trying to breathe and move pressure into that blanket. Maybe reach those arms just a little bit more. And if you want, bend at the elbows a little bit. I've got a wall in my way. Doing this with my elbows, my ribs want to come up. So I'm just giving myself a moment to settle back down. And again, trying to breathe into my back. Beautiful. Now we're just going to come off of our blanket, put it to the side, and I'm going to get my little block to sit on. You can have your block or your chair, or maybe you don't use either. Just going to take a moment, and you can use your strap because we're going to reassess. So we're just going to look at how breathing and stabilizing our shoulders and not moving them so much in a very strange way frees up your rib cage to move just a little bit more. So let's give it a shot. Does it feel more easeful to you? It actually does to me. I'm going to bring myself right up against the wall and see if it's easier for me to keep my rib cage on the wall. I found that easier. Either way I do it, whether I exhale through the mouth or through the nose, I'm finding it easier to find expansion in my rib cage and holding this strap to the wall. You can even try it this way. This is where I had more difficulty, so this is a great place to try it. Let's give it a shot. Can we? Much easier. So much easier. It's crazy. Well, I hope you found a little more movement in your rib cage when you did that. It's just a little experiment that helps us get a little stability in our shoulders and a little movement in our rib cage.